Hi, and welcome back from our break. We still have Lori with us from Superior Street Cats. We have today with us a special guest. I wanted to do a little follow-up feature on Baby Duck. Baby Duck was a cat that was found in the snowbank actually about 2 years ago. So what had happened was Baby Duck was rescued in the early morning by a couple who was walking out in their neighborhood. And they heard some crying coming from a snowbank. And what they saw was a Baby Duck and her sibling were abandoned in the snowbank. And Baby Duck was actually buried underneath her sibling. So her sibling didn't suffer any frostbite, but Baby Duck suffered severe frostbite, given that this was the middle of January. So what had happened was Baby Duck was rushed to a local veterinarian. And within a few days, she had to have her leg, her tail, and her ear amputated. And so I'm going to do a little follow-up with Baby Duck right now. We're gonna feature her on today's show. Thank you. So Baby is now 2 years old. She's fully recovered from her injuries. We have a lot of questions because we did a lot of media releases in regards to Baby and her siblings, just trying to find who the person was that dumped the cats in the snowbank, as it was a residential area. So as you can see, Baby is one of the more serious frostbite victims that we have here. She's missing her ear and her leg as well as her tail. So Baby is actually extremely resilient. Within hours of her surgery, she was actually up and walking. And today she's healthy, happy, and normal. But not every cat is so lucky. So this is Baby Duck. We just wanted to do a little follow-up as we've had a lot of queries about Baby Duck's recovery and her current health. She was very quickly adopted. There was a lot of interest in her. But Baby Duck resides at home with me. I couldn't let her go after caring for her for 2 weeks after her surgery. And so she's a very happy cat with a very happy home and 4 other siblings. So that's Baby Duck. I'll just have Michelle, I'll have you take her. She's very calm.
She's very calm.
Yeah.
Baby.
So we're just gonna talk to Lori a little bit about the cold weather effects on some of our cat populations that are left outdoors. Lori, tell me a little bit about the shelter that you have here.
This is a really basic shelter that anybody can make at almost no expense. We've taken an old styrofoam cooler, and what we've done is we've just covered it with a heavy plastic garbage bag. Just to give it a little more protection from the wind. Yep. And then just sealed all the cracks with some duct tape. And then what we do is we fill it with straw, not hay, because hay doesn't have any air in it. Okay. But straw, because it gives insulation better. And then you can just weigh it down with a brick or a rock somewhere and put it somewhere sheltered. Mm-hmm. And it just gives the cat somewhere to stay. Because quite often, as you know, with our weather, it doesn't take much for them to get frostbite. Right. And their poor little paws to be frozen. Yes. Blankets are not very good thing to use because they get wet. And then the cat can freeze to the blankets. So it's always better to use straw. You can make them out of Rubbermaid containers as well and line them with styrofoam. We've done that as well. We have a lot of our volunteers do that for us as well. Okay. But this is something that people can make at not a lot of expense. And we're always happy to supply them as well. If you have a feral colony and you need shelters, just let us know. Oh, and wow. We're quite happy. So you actually have volunteers that will make these and then supply them to people in the public? We do. We usually have a group of our volunteers get together and our guys do all the heavy cutting, and if it's the Rubbermaid stuff, and we all get together and we kind of have a little shelter party. We put them all together. Wow. And yeah, they work quite well. And the other thing that people can do is also put out heated water bowls. Oh, okay. The cats don't have access to water in the winter.
Right.
So a lot of people will put out heated water bowls. You just plug it into the wall and it keeps the water from freezing.
So do you do that around the colonies in town as well?
Yes, we do. A lot of our colonies have the heated water bowls.
Okay.
And, you know, when we can do that kind of thing, we do that to help as well.
So you were talking about, I had actually featured an instructional video on the Facebook page at the start of winter to show how to create these.
Yeah.
And so one of the ways was with the Rubbermaid containers. And I actually had a few people contact me and say, we've already placed these and made these and put them in our backyards.
Great.
Which is wonderful. So tell me why, instead of bringing the animals in during the winter, why this is an alternative solution, a good alternative solution.
Well, just as we said, the cats aren't social. And most of the cats, if you try to bring them into your house, they're going to panic and they're just going to try and claw their way back out.
Right.
Or they're going to hide and they're not happy to be in, even though you think that you're doing them a favor by bringing them in the house.
Right.
They don't think it's a favor. So this way they've got something to go into, and they're out of the out of the wind, they're out of the weather, and they're not going to freeze to anything. The other thing you can also do is take the Rubbermaid and cut the front out and make a little feeding station to keep them out of the weather as well.
Okay.
And you just put the bowls on the bottom of it without the straw, right? Just put a little bit of styrofoam, and that helps as well.
So this is even a solution to people who have, you know, 1 or 2 feral cats in their neighborhood, not
Yes.
just with colonies.
Exactly.
Great.
It helps, like I said, because they're cold and they don't have a lot of places to go.
So, I mean, from what I've learned here today is that these feral colonies are just always going to be, to some extent, and they are in every city.
They're in every city, but our program, we find, helps to, it's the only humane way and the only effective way to control the feral cats. Like I said, the old way of taking the cats and having them destroyed did nothing because more cats just move in. This way you control the colonies, and it's been proven in a lot of the bigger cities as well.
Right.
They now have no issue. Like I believe it's Calgary has no more issues with their feral cat colonies like they had before.
That's wonderful. And a lot of people don't know because they do believe that the solution is just to trap them and euthanize.
And they do, and they don't realize the cats just keep coming back.
Yeah.
And like I said, we've seen that in our colony where I work, where we have a colony, because that's what people did for years.
Yep.
And the cats just kept coming back.
Yeah.
So now we're slowly getting down.
So the impact that you've had on this city with the work that you've done has just been phenomenal. I've heard a lot of feedback working in the world of animal welfare for the last few years, and I just want to say thank you for the work that your group does. And you know, I wanted to have you featured on today's show so you can, you know, make the public basically aware of the work that you do and how to get involved. So if you just want to talk a little bit about your contact information and how people can get involved. Again, you said that you have a Facebook page. And
No, we don't have a Facebook page yet, but you can contact us. You can email us. Like I said, it's superiorstreetcats@hotmail.com.
Okay.
You can contact Animal Services, and they will pass the information on to us as well. We're going to have an open house at Animal Services on March 4th. And we're going to have Caring Hearts, and we're inviting Kitty Care as well to come to that, so people can come and meet the rescues as well.
Great.
So yeah, there's all different ways they can become involved. Like I said, they can trap, they can care for the cats, they can do fundraising, they can do shelter builds. There's all kinds of things that we do.
A lot of ways to get involved.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Lori, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back with Michelle from Caring Hearts Cat Rescue.